Hello everybody, I'm back and we're going to do part 4. And with part 4 we're actually going to go ahead and work a bit more on the scientific calculator. Before, unfortunately, I started recording this video and my computer shut down and I lost the recording. So I'm going to quickly go over what I've already done. If you do have questions, please post them in the comments, and I will try to, answer them as you do it. So, okay, so what I've done, I've added a few different things. I can't remember exactly sure where we left off, but here's our scientific view model, and it was like this, so we didn't do anything there. Here I've added a few things, I think. So we have an expression still. This is the basic view model base. So what I've actually done is I've taken our calculator, or our our basic, and I removed almost everything from it. I've left this here. I've passed the iCalculator in to our base, which is now, you see, calculator, and I've put what I had there here. That is simply so we can have all of the same features that we currently have on our scientific calculator that does derive from the same thing. Okay, so that's what I've done basically. Just so you have them, in case I did miss something, I will also go ahead and show the view model, or the view, I'm sorry, in the calculators. Scientific. Here's the scientific. We have a data template down here, and it has an items panel that is 300 wide, and it will wrap the button that we have another data template up here for, a superscript button, and then we also have another data template here for a regular calculator button. Just to show you what the calculator button and the superscript button are, here's our here is our calculation button. Okay, here's a button that we have. It has a label, a command, parameter, and an order. Okay, our calculator button derives from that. It has a static create method. Okay, and then our superscript button has derives from the button, and it also has another property called superscript. It has a create method as well. So just so we don't have to do this more, let's go ahead and push these into their own class. Okay, usually ReSharper will do that for me. Don't know why. Superscript did, and button will as well. The reason was because that was the name of the file. Alright. So we also added another constant. The constants we have basically I added for the scientific calculator. I put them in the order that I wanted right here with our create button. Then I simply order by the order. So that will do all of that. Let's go ahead and run our application. Here is our basic. Make sure it still works. 6 minus 6 equals 0. Okay. Our scientific. Now you actually see I also have a text box up here, and here is our our scientific buttons. What we can do, what we need to do is actually set the width and the height of these dynamic per the class. So let's now do this. We need to add another interface so we can make sure everything well, we already have an iCalculator view model that has a calculator type. So let's just simply add an int that is a height, a getter and a setter in it, and an int that is a width. The getter and a setter. Okay. And let's go to our calculator base. Let's implement these properties. Okay. Let's make them abstract, so they have to be implemented. Okay. Now let's go to we want to go to our calculators. Our basic now needs to implement these. Let's implement them. And let's just look and see what they are here. 350 and 400. So the height is 400 and the width is 350. Okay. And let's also go here and implement them here. So now we want our height to be a little bit taller. It's 400 here, we'll make it 500. And our width can be the same. Alright. Now if we run it, it still won't work because we haven't set that up. But let's just run it and prove it. Okay, we open it up. Basic. Scientific, and it still doesn't work. Alright, what we need to do now to do that is go here, combine to our where is shell view model? Shell view model is not, it is open. I don't know why that. Okay. So we want to bind here, dot width. And we want to make it a mode of two-way. And now let's just copy and paste this. And this can be height. Alright, so now when we run it, when we change, it should change to the correct size. Here's our basic, here's our scientific. It gets a little bit bigger, but you see we need a little bit more. That's okay. Let's go back to basic. and that's correct. So let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and make it another 50. We made it 5, make it 550. Alright, so now scientific and this big enough. Okay, perfect. Alright, so now what we want to do, let's look at our, this isn't quite right. Let's go ahead and fix that. We added a margin of 10. See if that works. No, it looks like it needs to be a little more than that. Let's make it 25. That's a little better. Alright, so now we don't want it on the top and the bottom, we only want it on the sides. So we actually probably want like 28 and 0. Let's try that. But we do want a little on the top and a little bit on the bottom. Let's make it 10 on both. Alright, we want a little less. Make it 6. That's pretty good. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to start thinking about our language, because with this we have to be able to calculate our functions. So we have functions like square root, we have to do log and scientific notation, exponent, cosine, you know, so on and so forth. So here's a mod as well. So we need to if you look here and you open your calculator up, I'm not going to do it the way they do it, but if they do that, you see they put square root and they wrap it, and it gives a value. We could do that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Another way you could do it, which a lot of people would be 7 square root 2, and that's another way you could do it. That's personally how I've done it in the past, so that's probably how we're going to do it. So, but if you look, we're going to run out of, this is going to be a problem. And it's going to be a problem later too. We have stuff that we can type here, but we don't have our expression above it. So, there's a couple things we can do. First of all, I want to get rid of this text box. Okay, I want to put a border, and I want that border to have a border thickness of 1, and border brush black, and inside this we want a grid with 2 rows. We've done this all before, so I'm going to blow through it. Okay, now we want 2 text blocks. So if you notice what happens when you type you type it here, and then it shows above it, and then it also shows here. So what we're going to do, we're going to do that. We're going to have a text block in grid.row, row 0, and then we're going to have another one that is going to be text expression. Okay, and then we want this to be 1. Now let's open this up, scientific calculator. Let's just add that here. Remove some namespaces. Now, what we need to do, we need to override our equals. We still want to do our base, but rather than I thought that was go here and look and see what it is. Let's calculate. So we want to override our calculate. Override calculate. Calculate isn't overridable. So let's make it. Have virtual and make it protected. Same with clear. Alright. Just so you know, and what we also want to do, before we calculate, we want to update our calculated expression. So now it should fill that when it calculates. but it doesn't calculate yet. So let's just add I'm gonna run into a few issues I just thought of. That's okay. We'll deal with them when we do. Oh, excuse me. Tired. Alright, so we're going to add number command, and this add number command is going to be here. Nope, it's going to be here. So we're going to have a style, which guess what, we've already done this. Target type, text type button, and then we can say setter property command. So this is to be at the bottom. Copy this and paste. Well, we've already done this before, so rather than do it all and fight it all again, let's just go ahead and use it, right? What we can do, here it is. It's not here. It's in keypad, which we've already done. So it should be calling that method now. Yes, it should. So let's find out if it is. It is here. It's scientific. Put a breakpoint, find out. Alright, so we hit 8. It's not working. Well, the reason, I think, the way we did it. Well, this will be better to do anyway, so this is a lesson learned that the way I did it with the items control and all of these is not going to work. That's a real shame. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this exactly the same as we did with the other one, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have went back and actually added these. I don't think I missed any. It looks like I did, but I don't know which one. I'm not too worried about that. What's important here is being able to get your superscript, which is right here, and that's because of this trigraphy variance. I can't talk right now, sorry. And then you have to use this right here, and that's because if you use the other one, it doesn't work for a letter and not a number. But here's what it looks like. Okay, now we push 8, and you notice it goes there. We push 9, minus 66. We don't have an equals, and that's the one that I'm missing. So I will add that in. I just want to say that could have been done with binding, but I didn't want to deal with that, so I didn't want to deal with playing with that. And when I could type it out, it's going to stay. We have our buttons. They look pretty good. This is wrong. It looks like we need to possibly do something with it. Text box is wrong, or the border is. Let's fix that. Let's say our margins is going to be 15. I don't really know, but well, I'm not going to play with that much. You guys can absolutely play with it to make it look good, but I am just not. So, okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and make that commit I talked about last time, so I could have started back out. And I'm going to go ahead and say displaying science numbers. Okay. Alright, so now we've done that. I'm going to hit pause, or I'm going to hit end the video here. It's a little shorter than normal, but I think it's a good break point. The next one will actually start getting into calculating and parsing our expression that we make. That might take a little longer than an hour, and that's the reason why I'm cutting this one a bit short. So I just wanted to go ahead and tell you that now. I'm assuming it'll probably take closer to 2 hours, so I'll probably do that in a couple days, but right now I'm going to go ahead and push part 4 up, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.